Poetry.Power.People. Glad y'all able to tune in. This is another episode. We're going to call this one The Value of Fatherhood. We have to the right of me. Want to introduce yourselves?
I'm DJ Mysterious. DJ Mysterious from Detroit. Hey, that's what I am. That's what I do.
What's up, y'all? I'm Shauna, also known as Pure Gold Honey. How y'all doing this evening?
Yeah, you was about to forget about me. Like, okay, straight up, I'm not here, I'm invisible. So I go by Lovely Lena. You can catch me on Facebook, Maylena Patino, or you can catch me, like I said, on Instagram, Lovely Lena. And as you guys know, this is our 3rd episode, and we're ready to get into it. K. Reed?
Yeah, y'all know who I am, C.E.O. K. Reed. We're going to get y'all started with a little poetry by Deshauna. So let's kick it off. Give us a little something, Deshauna.
I got you.
Get the vibe going.
You are more than just a hero to me. You are omnipotent and can never be robbed of your essence. You are the moral code held at the highest regard of the legacy that flows through the coils of my DNA. Your presence is important. You are the mastery to my understanding of man and my brother's understanding of one to become. You are the life given to the fountain, the seed given to the source, and the trees deeply rooted in the mountains. My creation does not exist without you. Your teachings are the foundation of my power. Father, I honor you. You are more than a provider. Your worth is more than a financial covenant, so they can never respectfully put your worth in a basket, set up on a corner for the price your existence deserves. So please forgive them for the lack in their effort to make many. There's no way possible to put the lessons you teach, your protection and the wisdom you release, your love and the strength you possess, the sacrifices and the stoicism that you attest as the world leeches off of you, and a basket nor on a brunch menu. To symbolize the appreciation I have for you, I could never sell that for the proper price. This is the truth of my heart I express to you, but here is where I digress. From the vehemence of my soul, even if I have never met you, Father, I honor you.
Oh,
Wait.
That was deep.
And get the chills. I ain't know you got to like that.
Hit them snaps.
The fathers out there. She wanted to serenade y'all with a little poem.
I hope they understood that it was meant to be deep. We're nothing, even if you're absent, we're nothing without you.
Absolutely.
Like with Lena, what you got for us? What was going on the past couple weeks?
Well, it was a really busy week for me personally, but I definitely made out time. I had an invite to go to the draft at the Little Caesars Arena. That was actually really dope. Love the concept and just bringing people together. I mean, that's the closest we got to live, obviously, because it was at the Berkeley Center. So, of course, didn't get a chance to be there, but definitely good to be at the LCA and getting that invite. And then shout out to Austin from Detroit Pistons for making sure we got some good tickets. So, appreciate him for that. So, I brought my girl out. She's a hairdresser, so she does a lot of different things. I'm like, you should just come out. She's a mom as well, so we enjoyed ourselves. There was a lot of familiar faces. I seen T.Y. Tompkins. Didn't get a chance to speak to him, but he's one of the movers and shakers in Detroit too as well. So heavily affiliated, doing things with the Pistons right now. So shout out to him. Yeah, I mean, I just think that it was dope that we did that. But I don't know how many years we've been doing that at the LCA Arena. But I'm sure somebody will let me know. But it was just a great turnout. And I think that it's just always creating great network for the people of Detroit and being able to connect and communicate with each other and just, share whatever success that we have. So that was good.
Okay. What y'all do for Father's Day, Juneteenth? You know,
Well,
Shauna had a birthday.
Okay. But you know, the thing I love about it is my birthday is definitely Juneteenth, but it's definitely around Father's Day. And I know some great fathers, some amazing fathers, from my little brothers to my uncles to my, lovely grandfather to my mate here. I know I'm surrounded by excellent fathers, so I'm always, even before they started celebrating Juneteenth, I've always been ecstatic about celebrating my birthday with great men. So we definitely had a great time that weekend, celebrated Father's Day as well as my birthday.
DJ Mysterio, how was your Father's Day, man?
It was cool. It was decent. It's just a regular day to me. Hey, Father's Day is every day. I clocked in, I ain't clocking out. But just to have a day of recognition, I didn't do too much. Went to the beach with my baby and my kids and my nieces. I took my brother's kids. He had to work that day. So I took his kids to the beach and just had a good time, playing some games. Got wet a little bit. Just had a good family time.
Good. Something else went to my mind. You said wet.
Well, that's how we got the kids, huh?
Man, my mind just be all over the place. Never mind.
Gone.
Never mind.
It's all to the good.
Never mind.
It's all to the good.
Well, there.
I don't know what my mind just went to, but anyway.
Devil ain't working on no more. I'll tell you that.
You ain't still snip, did you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. As soon as I got a divorce.
Okay.
I'm straight.
Okay.
I'm good. I don't want no more.
Damn. That's crazy. I don't even know where was I at? Oh, what I did, I spent time with my pops. I went over his house. We had some brunch with my sister, my brother-in-law, and my stepmother. Had a friend in town. We had cousins in town. Hung out. Went to a Juneteenth backyard party with some friends. Shout out to Travel with the Parhams. Kicked it with them and their family. What else? That was it, man. Chilled at the aisle. Wanted to sit by the water. Kick it. I hate that I missed out on it was a Juneteenth festival at the Eastern Market.
Yeah.
At the Shed 5. I'm like, I missed that.
Where's the Charles H. Wright Museum, if that's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Charles H. Wright.
Okay. How far is that from point A to point B? Because I think they had something there too.
You said from where? From
Shed 5.
that's about a 10-minute drive.
Oh, okay. Well, then there was 2 events then, I think, because I
Well,
swear
they
I
had
saw something
several.
there.
They got something going on.
They had several events going on through the city for
Okay.
Juneteenth. There was a lot of things going on. They had some at the Quinta Cut. They had some at Charles H. Wright. They had some at Shed 5. Different other little restaurants and bars and lounges had different celebrations.
Okay.
They had one at the main library also.
Okay.
So
Just continue on the Juneteenth situation. Like I said, for me, I don't know about y'all, but I kind of feel like I think all the cities kind of struggle as far as marketing or putting information out about Juneteenth. And then you also had that little situation in Greenville, South Carolina, where they had white couples on the flagpoles of a Juneteenth.
For Juneteenth?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think there's a lot of struggle. Is it because it's new?
But I think that
No.
there's like a lot of mixed feelings about the whole concept of Juneteenth anyway, because some people argue that, oh wow, we get one day, and then people talk about the in-depth more of like what needs to happen, like the reparations and things like that. So I feel like there's a lot of mixed reviews as people's thoughts as far as that. But I mean, some of us got an extra day off, so.
Yeah.
I mean, but even with it being one day, nobody can make your history one day. You have to celebrate yourself. You have to celebrate your legacy. No one can make your history one day. To me, it's a bigger controversy when your history has been wiped out, so you don't even know what to celebrate.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying. It's a mixed review of like it just being that one day. Like, obviously in our mind, like, my birthday can be every day as an example. Just like Juneteenth can be celebrated every day. But it's whatever you're doing to celebrate yourself on an everyday basis.
So I would definitely say I totally disagree with both of y'all.
That's fine.
Yeah, so it symbolizes that one day, just like Independence Day, just like Cinco de Mayo, just like anything else. That's our Cinco de Mayo. That's our Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
But that's our St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
That's our day. You dig what I'm saying? So just celebrate it within that day. Keep in mind what the Mexicans went through. Oh, they could talk about their history all month long during Cinco de Mayo. They chose one day to symbolize it, celebrate it that one day, like we do any holiday.
Yeah.
We do Martin Luther King that way.
I don't, just to be clear, I don't have a stance, and I'm just telling you where I think the indifference is. Like, people saying, like, well, oh, it's only one day, and then other people saying, like, we need to be doing more. That's why I said if you want to do more, you can do more. It's up to you to celebrate yourself or your history or your culture, whatever that looks like, was what I was saying.
Right.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I definitely get it. It's I said, you know, people involve their feelings in things that pretty much shouldn't. It's a holiday. It's like any other. It's like Christmas. It's like New Year's Day. It's like any other holiday. That's, hey, this is that one day. Like this month is Pride Month. Oh, do you stop celebrating Pride once July kick in? No, you still celebrate yourself. You dig what I'm saying? But this is just a destination. This is a point right there.
For sure.
Hey, that we're gonna symbolize this one day to bring an honor to you. Like me and him, we grew up in a church. Remember, we used to have we honor the pastor that day, or we have the celebration of the missionary that one day. Does that mean that we stop celebrating the missionary every single Sunday? No, it's that one day that we give honors to, just like the Grammys. Just like, hey, because you only celebrated that one day at the BET Awards, does that take away from your struggle as an artist and what you did to put that music out? How long it took to put that music out? Right. No, you just celebrated that one day. So when you put your feelings involved, like, it should be more done. It should be okay.
But
y'all all make good points. For me, I just thought it was I'm just trying to figure out is the struggle, like, so like I said, for me, I didn't see a lot of information out there for it. You know what I'm saying? For all the festivals that was
like
going
mainstream
on.
stuff.
So I'm just wondering if it was like, if it, because it's sort of still new to us. We still trying to
say, how long has it been in existence? What, 2 years now?
Well, yeah, I guess.
This would be the second
that
year.
in the Father's Day thing for me, I remember just being like, when it was Monday, I was like, oh shoot, it is Juneteenth, because I was looking at Father's Day first.
Right.
That was just me. So that would be my reasoning if I missed something or didn't do something.
Well, it's about how things are being marketed. So I found out about the celebrations because I'm 42. I watch the news. I get up and watch the news in the morning. I don't stream TV. I watch regular TV. I still buy the paper. It's all blasted all over Detroit News, Detroit Free Press. It's on the local news channels when they highlight them and things like that. That's how I find out what's going on around Detroit.
For sure.
So, and then it's about the algorithms that you put on your page as far as your social media. So certain people, if you don't follow these certain broadcasting networks, you won't find out.
Well, based upon what K. Reed was watching when you guys walked in, then you already know what
Facts.
I'm just kidding.
A whole bunch of ratchet.
I can only imagine.
Nah.
Like I said before, I don't listen to none of that shit. I was playing for you because you was with me.
Oh, wow.
You see what I tried to tell me?
Man, we going right under the bus.
You see how I tried
I
to...
said it's silent, so I just didn't want to bore y'all. So.
And on another note, June is also
you started
Health Month.
Absolutely.
It's when you said wet, so then it made me think of what you were watching earlier.
Yeah,
June is Men's Health Month, so you guys take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Definitely.
So shout out to all the men that might need to go, check on their back, their health, whatever you got going on,
mental,
you should
everything. Check on
all
everything.
of that. No, but even like so my
Check that prostate.
ED.
Yeah.
Work on your ED.
No, but seriously though, make sure you guys are intact. You guys are needed.
If you're in
Especially
your
as
40s,
fathers.
late 40s and 50s, go
You
get
should
that.
be in good health.
You
I don't even want to know what that means.
So
So I'm
graphic.
just gonna-
You talk about the prostate, what? The
Yeah,
colon
absolutely.
cleanse. You try to colon cleanse.
Health as well. Health as well.
I think mine's right around the corner. I ain't looking for it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it. Alright, that's what
We all got to go through it. And hopefully that we all through that. We live long enough, we got to go through it.
Yeah, alright. Let's get to the main topic.
Okay.
So, y'all seen y'all posted on I posted on Facebook and I posted on Instagram. I gave the answer or the question of, do deadbeat mothers receive more love and grace from the children in the community or society more than good fathers? So I want to start with a quick little story before we jump into that. Y'all got the question though, right?
Absolutely.
I want to jump into this. Y'all heard about, so Jimmy Butler, you know, he was just in the finals. So his childhood story is mom kicked him out the house at 13 and left him on the streets because he kept getting in trouble. He started living on a friend's couch, and their mother decided to adopt him and put him through college, and then, you know, rest is history. And obviously it was a white mother, right? So, you know, we all seen that movie, what was it called?
I know what you're talking about, but I forgot what the name
He
of
was
it
a
is.
football player.
With Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
All right.
Blindside.
So
The Blindside, yeah.
So I'm going to a comment a female made, right? So that's the story. She made this comment under that story. She said, so if I understand correctly, basically the system intended to prevent our growth and advancement led to a breakdown of family dynamic. Ironically, he is taken in by someone from the side of those who created these very systems. She puts him through college, resulting in his NBA career, and now she's the hero. While her efforts are honorable, more needs to be done to address and demolish the system of cultural and racial biases that are embedded in American politics and society. Pretty much just throw the whole system in the trash. Hopefully he's reconciled with his family. All right, I'm gonna get my thoughts on this, right? Again, this goes to it's for me. There's no accountability on the mother on that part, right? She basically wanted to just let's blame it on the system that she threw her son, 13-year-old son out. And it's a problem that it was a white mother who took him in and raised him. You know, so is it really the system? Because you know, we've seen a lot of single mothers who.
It's kind of some murky waters, right? Man, it's so many layers to it that it's really not one side or the other. I'm like really neutral to this because, I mean, I first-handedly know what it's like to be a single mom, but then furthermore, I also know too what's not taught to you too has the ability to challenge and dictate where you go, right? And then if you're able to readjust yourself, you'll fine-tune those things that like weren't taught to you, right? But it takes a stronger-minded individual to do that. And especially this day and age, there's a lot of youth that's manipulated by social platforms and other influences that are exterior to the home. And then especially when you're raising a child by yourself, your ability to physically be present and maybe block that, because let's face it, like these kids, especially nowadays, so like you're thinking about Jimmy Butler at his age, think about our generations now, how much more relevant phones and certain things are influencing our kids outside of the home than the actual parents. So you're already at that disadvantage. So that's why I'm like, there's so many layers to it, but my thing is, she may have not had a support system to even feel like she could keep him or deal with the emotional pieces of it. But this is why I talk to my almost 17-year-old all the time, and I tell her about Planned Parenthood and even genetically speaking, reproducing with somebody else, and why it's important to understand their background and even mentally what their family has a history of. Why? Because the makeup of your child is genetically speaking to you in that child. Like whatever you're engraving is by default sometimes. Like sometimes I might be able to overcome certain things that could be like family history, whatever. But there's so many elements and pieces to it that it's like, yeah, it kind of is a huge slap in the face to somebody see an investment, right? And our children are our investments. Yeah. And it's unfortunate when they're unruling or they act out or they're doing things that's really challenging your ability to upbring them. You know, some people might say, well, a parent is a parent. But until you've dealt with an unruling child, to I don't know to what extent he was, you know, then it's kind of, you're always going to play devil's advocate, you know. So that's tough. Really, I mean, there's so much to say about that. That's the beginning of what I could say.
Your thoughts. I mean, your mother.
I am definitely a mother.
You got a teenage son.
I have a teenage son. My teenage son, you know, was not always the best behavior. You cannot, to me as a mother, I could never see myself giving up on my child. Absolutely. But at the same time, even if the father is absent and the mother is lost, where's the village? You know what I'm saying? Like the village, you as long as there's men in your village, it doesn't have to be his father. It doesn't have to be, you know, the uncle. If you know that you have a neighbor next door that's an upstanding citizen, we have to quit sheltering the issues in our community and use our community to heal these issues. And then when we don't use our community to heal the issues that are within our community, we get upset for the outsider stepping in and fixing the issues. You put a child out on the street, and now you're mad because someone of another race took him in, and now he's successful. Yeah. We have to fix our own community. So before we get mad that the outsider of our community is taking care of our children, what are we doing as a community to keep our children and keep our community together and going in the right direction?
I'm totally in agreement with that because, and that's why I say where's the accountability? Not just on the mother, but yeah, you're right, on the community. Where's the family? And
because it's the community that's mad that the outsider took them in. Right. You know, if you're going to be upset that other people of other races, and I don't want to call you outsiders, but you're outside of our community. If other people of other races are willing to come in and help these children, why are we upset? That's like saying being mad because he's a stepfather. Mm-hmm. Another man had to come into the household and raise this man's child.
Yeah. Like we gotta. Not to say there's a system against us, right? But sometimes we do gotta look at ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Are we playing into the agenda?
It's like I'll say the same thing. Like even when it comes to what they call it, gentrification. You know what I'm saying? I know we hear it all the time. Like we need to come together. We need to unite. We gotta stop. You know, let our money cycle in our own neighborhoods before we take it. You know, outside our neighborhoods. But we keep preaching that. You know what I'm saying? But I think at some point we definitely just gotta stop pointing the finger though, and really come together.
So,
what you got?
Oh, this is gonna be good. Cause the thing is, the comment the old girl made, it's full of bull to me. It's just typical women feelings to me, flat out. So, my thing is, I am a father that's single. I'm a father that's single. See, a lot of women sit there and say, I'm a single mother. Just because you're single doesn't mean that you're a single mother if that father's still involved.
Yes.
If you don't open up that door for him to be involved, because a lot of women have kids for the wrong reason, first of all. They have babies just because they want to feel love. They have babies because they want somebody to love them unconditionally. That's not why you bring a child into this world.
Amen.
You dig what I'm saying? So then, guess what? As me being a father that was single, I'm not a single father anymore because I have a woman. See, it's my due diligence, and it's as the teaching of my mother and father. See, it starts with that dynamic. I grew up with my mother and father. Okay? So I saw that. So I have a dire need to make sure I supply that for my kids. Flat out. It's a dire need that, hey, telling the mother of my child, my son is not the man of your house. Go find you a man of your house. Go and get you a man. Keep in mind, just because you and him didn't work out, because guess what? He didn't vet you properly and you didn't vet him properly, and y'all just had a mistake. Let's be honest, it was a mistake. Y'all didn't plan it. Y'all was having fun. It doesn't stop you from doing your job as a parent. Go find another man. Go find another woman. Supply that household. Fill it up.
Yeah.
See, that's what's wrong with this generation now.
And see, we had a conversation before, around the first time we did the podcast, the first episode of the podcast, and it is a lot of, and bitterness goes both ways, but a lot of women become bitter once the relationship is separated. Now, I do know men that become bitter, but it's usually a mother thing, and when you have a man that has children, you have to understand that man is over households where he has children. He's not over the woman of that household. But that woman of that other household, his children's mother, is going to call him at 3 in the morning if something is wrong. She's going to call at 3 in the afternoon if the child needs a ride home from school. She's going to, and you have to understand that's where the village is molded at. Because if he's at work and the kids need to get home from school, guess who's going to go get the children from school? So you have to remove that bitterness, because at that point the kids suffer. So even though we know the mother put the child out, where's the father? Yeah. And then where's the man that she had in her life that couldn't help her guide her children? I have a 19-year-old son. I reached out to his father last night and my mate and said, my son is going through something mentally. I don't know if he just doesn't want to express it to me because I'm his mother, but I went to the village and said, can we get a hold of my son? I'm not going to say, oh, he's not communicating, I got to give up on him. No, you reach out, but you as a woman have to make sure that you are putting men in your cipher that help not only your son become a man, but help you understand what your son is going through, help you understand your role as a woman, as a nurturer.
I'm glad he brought up what you said about there's a difference between a single person versus a single parent. And I actually got into it with one of my friends, because he said he was a single parent. I said, no, you're a single man, meaning that you're available to date other women. I said, you're not a single parent because the mother of your child is actively involved. Well, she doesn't do enough. I didn't say that she did or didn't. You're missing the purpose. I said, does she come to his basketball games? Does he split time at your house and her house? Right. He goes, yeah. I go, okay, that's a whole conversation that's entirely different. You have a co-parenting relationship that may have some dysfunctionality points in it. Two different things. I said a single parent is somebody that solely does 100% of the things on their own. Now, I 100% agree with the women that will not allow. That's so weird. The bitterness, it does. I agree. Has to stop, because there's amazing men out there that have not been able to build that relationship simply off of a failed relationship, and that's sad because it's not about the relationship, it's about the children.
So I would say this to what you're saying. You owe your child, not you, I'm talking about women. Whoever it is, guess what? If it applies, then take it very, very personal.
Absolutely.
Guess what? It is your job as a parent, whether you're male or female, to complete that household. So if you out there dating, you out there getting your rocks off, you're out there doing this and you're not vetting, your life stops when you have a child. So your personal stuff stops.
Yeah.
So understand this here. When you're out dating, you should be dating with a purpose of, I want to find a father for my child. I want to find a mother for my child. I want to show my child this family household, this structure, because everybody want to talk about generational curses and they don't want to address the biggest one that we have, which is people having kids. Women having kids for the wrong reason, and men not understanding, stop fertilizing the grass that you know nothing about. Vet that soil. Guess what? Vet it. Till it. Get it together. That's called dating. That's called getting it together. And then you plant your seed.
I have a
But
question.
even with what Lena said before, because I want to touch on that, one parent doing more than the other, that has come up in conversations. Well, how does the child feel? How does the child feel?
It's just getting done.
And that's all that matters. So when you're going back and forth with the other parent, oh, well, I bought 2 pairs of shoes and you bought 2 shirts.
Yeah.
Guess what the child feels? I got a connected outfit and I'm going to school fly. We have that right there already shifts the relationship.
I got you.
Already shifts the relationship between the two that the children see, because it's too much finger pointing. You're not a perfect mother. I work hard and I take that mother title seriously. One thing, you can call me every name in the book and I'll let it fly. You say something about me being a mother, and I'm gonna take that very seriously. So one thing that interrupts that co-parenting relationship is the comparison. And when you're in a personal relationship, you can't say, well, babe, I paid 3 bills and you only paid 2. And now y'all are arguing with this child, and guess what? How it comes out around the child? Your daddy bought you 2 pair of shoes last year, and that's it. Guess what you're doing? You're not only are you making that child look at the father a certain way, that child is looking at the mother a certain way. Well, daddy did buy me 2 pair of shoes, but they was my favorite shoes. You keep buying me them cheap shoes that I'll never wear. Even though you bought 6 of them, daddy bought my favorite shoes. And now you're creating the resentment level on both aspects.
So then what do you guys think about that video of that guy that was like, he had 7 kids and his excuse was, well, I told them all I didn't want no babies. But why are you out here with no condoms on? That's my thing. Like, I mean, there's so many layers to that conversation where we're talking about community and families, but it was a bizarre video.
That's on a woman. If a man come to you and tell you he don't want kids,
I get that too, but
no. If a man come to me and tell me he doesn't want kids, for one, we need to either make sure but I'm gonna protect myself, because I can't say what he gonna do. Because when he jumped in unprotected, I laid down and knew he was in there unprotected. Sure. So if you're telling me that you don't want children and I get pregnant, guess what I'm setting myself up for?
Yeah.
You were honest in the beginning. So now that I'm pregnant, am I expecting you to change your mind?
No, that's not the point I'm making. But
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
So it's like this here. Through it all, through any aspect of life, as a human being, for your personal growth, I encourage everybody to stop pointing the finger. Take a self-accountability. You are accountable for the majority of the things that happen to you in your life if you allow it to affect your growth. So, my mother taught me this as a child. When you point the finger, you got 3 pointing what? Back at you.
Yeah.
But the other part of that is this. If you look at these 3 things first, if you break these 3 things down, by the time you get done solving them problems, what you pointing at doesn't even matter.
For sure.
Because you're about self-growth.
Yeah.
Okay? And now understand, people are victims of certain things. But he did this. Guess what? If you don't get these 3 things down first, what you point at gonna happen again because you're not taking accountability of what you could have done to prevent this.
Absolutely.
You're steady wallowing in the victim point.
Yeah.
In the victim point.
And guess who's suffering as a parent, wallowing in the victim point? The child.
Yep.
The child. And now the bitter mother is worse than the absent father because you're bringing that child up in trauma, bitterness, hate, resentment, and he's absent. The only thing that child is going to wonder is, what is he like? He's probably great. The child is not going to think the worst of the parent that he doesn't know.
It reflects on you more when you speak on somebody regardless of what their actions are. Like, kids are smart enough to fill in the blanks.
Right. That's
like,
what.
Like, you won't ever have to say, you know, if, like, let's say you're a single father and that mom just took off. He would probably never have to say all the full details of what that woman did. Why? Because that child would be able to formulate that and put that together. He could simply say your mom left and leave it at that, right? But you don't have to be like, she a deadbeat, she this, she that, right? Because that child is going to understand that you've been there 100% of the time, whether it was good or bad. So that's just how I feel. If you're going to speak on somebody.
And it's all about being honest with your kids once they're available to understand and decipher what you're explaining to them.
Absolutely.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. You wasn't conceived out of love. Me and your mom hooked up and we was just having some fun. Yes, you're a mistake. Guess what? Either I got you or what they call an STD. Happy I caught you. Good. I'm going to keep that. Let's be honest.
But as a person that's never met her biological father.
Right.
Now, I've had some great men in my life. I do not feel like I missed out on anything. But as a person that has never met her biological father, I'm not sitting there like, why did you leave? Why you wasn't there? What I understand is y'all were teenagers, y'all were having fun, he got nervous, went this way, you got stuck with the baby. Y'all are 2 teenagers. I don't have any resentment against my father, but I don't believe that makes my father less of a man than my mother is as a woman. So just because the father or the other parent is not there does not mean that the one that was there is better than the absent one. You know, it's not like I sat there and was like, oh, you know, well, my dad wasn't there. He a deadbeat. No, my father was scared. My father took off this way and went to the military. He's a teenager taking on a big responsibility. He went and he did what he thought was best for himself, whether it was coached by his parents or whether it was his decision. I don't know him and I haven't experienced him to say that you're a terrible man because you left. So just because the person was not there does not mean that his absence should be frowned upon.
Y'all made some good points. I want to switch it up a little bit, just have a little fun. Then I want to get back to the question. But I want y'all to give me y'all top 5, or maybe y'all give me one each. Y'all top 5 favorite songs for fathers.
He trying to be funny.
Dance for my father.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why that's my favorite. Because I wanted to dance with my grandfather raised me, and I always envisioned getting married and dancing with my grandfather off that song. So even though he's gone now, it's still something that I listen to and be like, we would have had a ball off this song.
So that's one. Give me another.
I don't have one because she just taught me about one.
You ain't know?
No.
You just not know
What was that by?
Oh,
I know that one. Okay, I know that one. That's the only one I know.
I know Shy, you can come up with at least 3 or 4.
Oh man, some of my favorite ones Pusha Man. Yeah.
That was a father song?
I'm your daddy, I'm that daddy. I'm the doctor when you need. Have some weed. You know what I mean? I'm your man homie, thick and thin. I'm your pusher.
Duh. That's not a father song.
He said, I'm your daddy.
That's like saying wherever he laid his hat was at home.
Was
And
Papa
when
was
he-
a Rolling Stone? That was a
I
good one.
cannot.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. That's one of my favorites. Intro to that mug is so freaking long. We're talking about 9 minutes before they start.
I feel like you were going somewhere with that question though, but go ahead.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a good
All right, so Oprah, I seen this on the internet. The top 5 songs made for fathers. This was I seen this on the Oprah Daily or something. All right, so number 1 was Dance for My Father.
I want to interject.
Go ahead.
So, to be honest, what's so different is this, because I DJ a lot of different weddings, different cultures, and all that stuff, right? It's tremendous pop and country father songs. Tremendously. Tremendously.
That's funny you said that.
Okay? Beyonce put one out, and hers was called Father.
With her, so Oprah got hers number 2, that Daddy song. I never heard that.
Yeah, Daddy. Yeah.
She had one where she was kind of like song about her father was almost like a resentment type of song though. Y'all remember that?
With Beyonce?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay. Well, anyway, all right. So number 3, Song for Dead. That's by Keith Urban. You ain't never heard that? 'Cause I know you like country music.
I'm just not into it. Hold on now. I'll be trying to test my card.
I know you a country music enthusiast. When
Right, that's what he tried to make it sound like. I'm like, I don't know that one. I literally just started listening to country music this past year.
Oh, okay. All right.
You see?
Then you have Your Joy.
Your Joy. Yeah.
Chris and Michelle, you know about that?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He didn't have to be by Brad Paisley. Is he a country singer?
Yes.
Here you go again, like I'm supposed to know. Here you go. I don't know, Harry. Is it?
This one I like. I didn't know it was really like a father song, but I know it was a son and father sung it together. Wind Beneath My Wings, Gerald Levert and Eddie Levert.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Another one, Just the Two of Us.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Will Smith.
Of course.
It's going and on.
Shut up.
They put this at number 17. This is one of my favorite songs, New Day by Jay-Z and Kanye West. Now, one of the favorite lyrics of that song was, Jay-Z said, it took me 26 years to find my path. My only job is to cut the time in half. That's one of my favorite verses or lyrics of all time, because it's saying, like, everything I learned, it took me like so many years to get to a certain point, but I'm gonna show you how to cut it half. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go through all the pitfalls, the trials and tribulations. I go through it. I'm the cheat code. And that's how I feel about my children. Like, I'm gonna give you the cheat code. Like, you can cut this BS in half. And I think like my parents gave me a little cheat code too. They gave me the best they can, and I
gave you a lot of cheat codes.
But so how many cheat codes do you give your children before it prevents them from learning or experiencing on their own? Before it, what's the word? What handicaps them?
See, this is a problem. I think that's always a mindset of black people.
What?
What's that?
We want to make it hard for our children.
No.
We've always wanted to be hard. With other generations, like we so quick to kick the kids out the house.
I would definitely say that's something in our community.
With other ethnicities, they'll say, you get married, they'll let you and the wife move in the house, and y'all build y'all credit up, build y'all savings up, so y'all ain't gotta be in debt. None of that. We so quick to kick our kids out.
All right.
Well, I did one better. My daughter is on my credit card, so she should have an 800 out the gate.
Right,
But even with her being on your credit card, is she the financial literacy? And that's okay. So that's a good example.
I think
my daughter is going to be 18 with the 800 credit score. That's the cheat code. I done gave you good credit out the door. Whatever you want to do, you got good credit.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad when she was 13.
But you give her good credit out the door, right? And now when she, guess what happens when you get good credit? You can get a car, you can get a house, you can get that.
Yeah, authorized users already get cars.
So I'm making a point, sweetheart.
I'm just saying.
So what I'm saying is, you give your children the cheat code. Experience is still going to be a teacher.
Yeah, I think
I had the cheat code, and I didn't have to work for anything. I had the cheat code. Guess what happened when Granddaddy said, "I taught you enough"?
so. You saying you think they still need their own person?
They still need their own experience. You can give your child an 800 credit score, but once they get on their own, this is a corporation that we live in and that we operate in. Wait a minute, this is a corporation. It's a business. So it is definitely, like you said, social media is an influence. Friends are an influence. Girl, come on, let's go out here. You got good credit. Come on. And guess what? That 800 that you gave her at 18.
I think you
if
missed,
the
I think you missed
financial
something that she
literacy,
said. You missed something she said. She
what?
said she gave her daughter Rich Dad Poor Dad.
She read the entire book and we talked
So
about
she-
it.
I read the coldest winter ever. Do you think I remember every word from out of it?
No.
What I'm saying is, experience is still going to be a teacher.
He's agreed though.
It's still going to be a teacher.
So
Yeah, no, you're right.
so Digger, right?
I ain't disagreeing with that.
All right, so Digger, I'm gonna just bring it full circle. Definitely. All right, yeah, we kick our kids out. Keep in mind, let's get to the root of it though, because most of us grew up in a bungalow household. Those families that say, "Hey, you and your wife can move in," don't have bungalows. You dig what I'm saying? Don't have colonial houses. Don't have 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house. They come into a foyer. You walk into their house in the foyer. It has a.
That's not always the case. I see even with Mexicans.
Now, keep in mind what I'm saying.
Most Mexicans.
What I'm saying is this here. What I'm saying is this here. There's always exceptions to the rules. There's always exceptions to the rules. And nothing I say is full of totality.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So I'm only talking about the common space. I'm only talking about what's common. So to bring it back to what they were saying, experience, definitely. Because you know what? Opportunity plus preparation equals success. If you're not properly prepared and the opportunity presents itself, I can tell you all day, because I'm a gun enthusiast. I can tell you, and you can read a book all day on how to shoot a gun. Until you put that gun in your hand and you fire it, you're not an expert.
Absolutely.
You're not a person that could train somebody. You're not somebody that can even talk about guns because you only read it. So, guess what? The experience is this. Guess what? I'm going to give you a cheat code, but know what? I'm going to let you fly.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to kick you out because I got to know what I got to get my grade as a parent. How well you fly is what my grade is as a parent because I prepared you for this opportunity. So now you're the reason why you succeed. See, my mother and my father prepared me for adulthood. Hey, do what I said. Okay, do it because I said so. I only explain nothing to you because you won't understand at 13 what I know at 33. So understand this here. I tell you, don't touch the stove. Because I don't need to tell you because it's hot. Don't touch the stove. Why? Because I said so. Because I said so. And then guess what that child gonna do? One day it's gonna touch that stove. I told you not to.
It's gonna be the lesson.
I told you not to. Now you know why. You know what? Now go get some butter. Go get some peroxide. I'ma go ahead. But now you know. You dig what I'm saying?
I'm big on credit. My son, 19, he's on one of my credit cards. He doesn't know it. Me and Shannon was sitting there the other night, and he came there like, so as far as this credit thing, I want to start working on my credit. Shannon told him, that's easy. Your mama got a down pat. Even though Shannon said that's easy, and your mama got a down pat, I gave him a list of things to do. You go get you a bank account at a financial institution. Do not just sign up with any bank. Take a look at all the banks in your area and in your community and see what bank is best for you. You're gonna have to, once you get your credit card, you're gonna put your credit card on auto pay. I'm gonna show you how to use your card, because credit utilization is better than your credit score, because you have to know how to use your credit. So even though I have the cheat code, you got some steps to do. Because if I give you this book, I could give you a cookbook. Guess what's going to happen? If you ain't trying to make cornbread from scratch, you're going to skip past that part and you're going to go straight to the spaghetti. You're going to go straight to the next lesson. You're going to go to what fits you in that moment. When it comes to building financial literacy, you have to start step by step by step by step, because you can get lost in that process living in this corporation immediately. So before you step out into this world, before you leave my household, not only are you going to have a good credit score, you're going to know how to build on that, and you're going to know how to pass it down to my grandkids.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter closed she had a job and she had to close her account. I said, how are you going to manage the account? You may not be paying fees because you have a direct deposit going into your account, but what are the requirements of your account? And then she couldn't remember. I said, so remember when you opened that bank account? So now you don't even know how much you would get feed if you don't have direct deposit no more. So I made her go in, close her account. You can open another account and establish one when you get you another job.
So I would just say, to sum it up on the points, hands-on work builds appreciation to what you do.
Absolutely.
So if you're giving your kids everything,
if
you're giving your kids everything, hey, know what? Hey, know what? Hey, know what? Nah, you don't gotta do that, because I did it. I built this. I tell my kids, this is my house.
I think there's balance is what K Reed's trying to say. Like, certain things don't need to, like, you don't need to bump your head on certain things, and there's certain things that you should do trial and error with. I 100% agree. So because it's like, then you'll never learn. You know what I'm saying?
It depends.
So,
Right.
but it depends on what category, what their expertise is, what age level they're at, whatever.
It's about that child, because you know what? Let's say with my discipline, when it comes out of my kids, one child I just need to talk to. One child I might need to go take him out to go see it. Another child I might have to whoop his butt. But I know my children, so I know what's effective.
Correct.
Effective.
Depends on the person.
Yeah.
It depends on that child, because every child is different.
Custom.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I can talk to one, and it has no effect on that person.
Yeah.
None on him. I'm gonna have to, man, come over here.
Yeah.
I can just sit there and say, I'm disappointed in you.
That's gonna be another subject. Like the customization, especially like when it comes to education and stuff like that, schools, they need to customize education. It's too general.
That's why
right?
there's such a miss in like people's learning abilities, because even when you're in a career and you're talking to a client, there's a lot of people that you can hand them information for them to read, and there's other ones where you need a presentation.
Yeah.
But see,
And that's literally a thing that you learn about people.
Going into that, it's like this. We spend money on any and everything. You dig what I'm saying? Hair, when it comes out of black women, it's $1 billion business. You dig what I'm saying? Sneakers for men, $1 billion business. Ain't none of us got together as a community and say, you know what? We gonna buy one of these. We gonna get one of these schools that's closed down. We gonna renovate it, and we're gonna get it accredited, and we're gonna put the teachers in there, and we gonna charge this amount of money, and we gonna build a curriculum that we want to teach our kids. We gonna build this K through 12, and we gonna build a curriculum that we want for our community, and say, hey, guess what? We're supplying the education at this point, because I want my kids to know this, I want my kids to know that, and it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. If it takes 20 kids in one classroom and teachers get paid $40,000, break that down per child. And it's 30 kids and it's 20 kids in the classroom. So how much? So guess what? It's 20 kids in the classroom. Guess what? Who can't come up with $20,000 for their child a year?
Yeah, no, that's another subject. We're gonna touch on that. So now let's bring it back around
Absolutely.
to the question. Deadbeat mothers get more love and grace from their children in the community or society than a good father. What's your thoughts on Like, how did y'all answer that question? Yes, no?
I believe so, because it's the way that it's pushed and it's marketed. It's the way that it's pushed. Coming up, just always mother this, mother that, make sure you thank your mother, everything like that. And it's a part of a female's nature to want to be celebrated like that. We've been taught, hey, we gotta be celebrated, just do what you have to do, that's just at the other. Mm-hmm. But we got to take accountability of this. We have to learn how to vet our women and understand that our seeds is just as valuable as their eggs. Without, no one's better than the next. No one's stronger than them. Ain't nobody better, ain't nobody stronger. We share strengths in different categories. Mm-hmm. Stop worrying about what's going on over there. Take accountability for you. Stop pointing the finger and say, you know what, I'm gonna celebrate myself. Because you know what? I fertilize that grass. I know my seed mean everything to me. So I don't just plant it anywhere. Once we start taking responsibility as men on how we fertilizing our grass out here and spreading our seeds out and taking value in our seeds and saying, you know what? This is the golden ticket. This is royalty seeds right here. And can't anybody carry my seed. Guess what? You're not worthy. Oh, who are you talking to? I'm talking to you. You're not worthy. Go ahead. No, I say no. Nah, I'm good.
But most people don't have the strength when it comes to food, sex, and money. Those three things, if you can master those, male or female, then you have the potential to
because it's not taught as a parent. See, I was taught as a parent from my mother and father. I was taught that. You dig what I'm saying? Taught discipline. So when you go out here and you just say, well, I'm going to just give my children anything they want. You want that, you can go get it. You're not teaching them discipline. No, you can't. No, when you start teaching them discipline, you're not going to get them Captain Crunch. You're going to go get them cornflakes. Because I know what's healthy.
Deshaun, what you think? So basically, wait, before we get started, so to clear it up, you say yeah? Like Debbie mothers will still give more love and grace than a good father? Because that's how society has created that atmosphere. No matter what, like mom is always gonna be loved.
Absolutely. I think so. Absolutely, and it's just more the fact of I don't really even care about it. Be honest.
All right, what about you?
So I definitely believe that toxic or deadbeat mothers, so to speak, get more love than good fathers. For the simple fact of she's there to manipulate.
She got time to manipulate.
She's more hands-on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get a generation of toxic love. Mm. That's how you get a generation of toxic understanding. That's how you get kids that believe love, manipulation is love. She's there, you know. I'll buy you some shoes, but I ain't gonna be home for a week. I've been gone for a week because I had to buy you some shoes. I've been gone, and so I just believe she comes with the nurturing to avoid feeling guilty. Mm. It's a programming. Outside of society, it's a program in the household. I want to look good. No parent wants to look bad. Right. So I want to look good in my vindictiveness. Yes.
What about you?
I mean, society does create that platform for women to be placed on a pedestal, and I mean, I hate to say it, most women are a little bit more on the manipulating side, whether it's like their energy, the things they say or do, but like, I guess I just look at it from my little small bubble of things. Like, I love recognizing great men or men that are super hands-on and involved in their kids' life. Mm-hmm. So on a personal basis, like, there's really no room for it. And then when women try to manipulate the situation of trying to make it seem like it's the father, but it's really you because you're trying to control the situation, there's no way you're my friend. Like, I can't have people around me that think like that, because I agree, two people needing, I could never be like my daughter's father. Like, that's a definite thing. Like, and it's weird when some people like try to take on Father's Day as a woman. Like, you get 1 day. That's it. So, yeah.
I'm probably piggyback on what Shauna was saying. I'm gonna say yeah, because a lot of times what I see and what I witness, like a mother was still she can get child support, right? She got custody, she getting child support, but she can do whatever she wants. She can take the child support, still don't do nothing for the child. She takes the child to sister, auntie, drop the children off at mama. Mama taking care of them, or the grandparents taking care of the children while she going off doing whatever she want to do. You know what I'm saying? And the father paying his child support, but for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, he's not able to spend that time with his children or whatever, get his children for whatever reason. I see that a lot. And he looked at as a bad father. You know what I'm saying? But he's providing. You know what I'm saying? But I think that, but yeah, that's what I see though. You know, I see like women will get love and grace. Like I seen, or I know witness, you know, a woman will have abandoned their children, right? And then child get of age, they, you know what I'm saying, they're like very forgiving of that mother. Still want to do for that mother.
Because it's taught.
Right? They still would do for that mother, even though that mother wasn't around or abandoned them. And if it was like the vice versa for the father, it's like, I don't want nothing to do with them. But you okay with your mama abandoned, you gave her grace, now you talking about like, I still want to give her my mama thing, I still want to buy her house, I still want to do this. But you can't even, you don't even pick up your father's call. You know what I'm saying?
And I know we're closing, but it was a celebrity that said, I paid child support every month for my child and paid a significant amount. And then once the child support was cut, he reached out to the child like, now I've been giving you money and your mother has been keeping you this way. Now you're of age. Come on, come roll with me. And the child shut him down and said, you haven't been there for me. But he's a celebrity, paying a big piece of support a month. And now he doesn't even want to speak to his father because he said, you was never there for me. You ain't never did nothing for me. So even with the father paying child support, are the women giving recognition, you know, telling the child, your father still supports you. My daughter, her father is on child support. Guess who has the card? My daughter. My daughter has that card. Well, I just got a payment on the child support card. I'm going to sit them all with my friends.
I would say.
She knows what her father contributes financially.
As she should.
So it is women out there that are sitting there getting this money and still sitting there saying, your daddy don't do nothing for you.
And I would sit there and say that child is absolutely correct. You can't parent from your wallet. You can't parent from your wallet. Hey, when did you take the time out to say, to call me, to come and get me? You took the time out to go on vacation. I see you on boats with these bras. I see you on this movie screen. I see you doing interviews. You done circled my city 5 times.
And here we are with this toxic mother who is giving that, no, you can't, no, because you, no. Because do you honestly think that if he's reaching out at 18, he didn't try in other years?
Who was talking about
the father? It's plenty of, I have a little brother from another mother right now that pays child support and ain't seen his son in years. Ain't seen his son in years, and his son is 7.
And so I will sit there and say, and I can, like I said, I'm just a man, type of man, and I'm a father. If I'm paying this significant amount of money in child support, I got money to spend on a lawyer, put through litigation. I'm gonna go get my child. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna fight. Like I'm fighting for my career. Like I'm diligent on my career that I'm in. I go get these contracts. I'm gonna go get this. Keep in mind, I can't point the finger at the mother. I'm not worried about what the mother doing. She can do whatever she wanna do, but she ain't gonna stop me. If I know where the check's going to, so I got the address. I'm popping up. I'm coming.
This is definitely a diligent conversation for us.
Yeah.
We're gonna
We're
have
to do a
we're
part
gonna have
two.
to revisit
We're gonna have to do a
this.
part two.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to
But see, I'm not disputing the fact of that toxic mother.
Yeah.
But so since we're on that, it's like I said from the beginning. Let's once women start being honest and say, you know what, I had the child for the wrong reason. I started off this child toxic because I didn't really want to have a child for the purpose of having a child to give to this child. I had this child so this child can give to me. I wanted it for my personal use. I wanted it like this little baby doll and this baby doll. Guess what? I'm gonna shape and mold this child in the benefit of me. I ain't gonna benefit the child. I want the child to take care of me at an old age. I want to hug me. I want to pass off my adult problems onto this child. I want to pass off my adult feelings. Man, I can't believe this guy hurt me and I'm back home and I'm crying in front of my kids. Like I tell people, I've been told, I tell people, hey, you know what? When mama not happy, the whole house ain't happy. Also, when daddy not happy, the whole house ain't happy. So when you come into your household, come into it with understanding that you passing off your emotions to this child in a very indirect way. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to sit there and say, your daddy ain't nothing.
Yeah. Give me your closing statement. What you got real quick to say.
Children need both parents. These children, the greatness of these children come from both parents. Both parents need to work together. Our community is not at its best potential because we're not working as a village. So let's start working as a village for these children. Let's start operating as adults when it comes to co-parenting for the health, the mental health, the physical health, and the strength of our community. We gotta work together.
I just want to say I appreciate, I got 2 dads, and I got excited. No, but I do appreciate the real men that I've had be around me or my child, and I'm just super grateful. And then, you know, this is just a perspective, like, for people that don't feel like they have a good father figure, like, I mean, maybe God is the answer as far as, like, what you see as being an ideal image, because, you know, you can't control that, and maybe you don't have the community, but you just find ways to tap into positivity and growing your whatever your situation is to be the best version of yourself. So, I mean, I'm just super appreciative and super thankful, and definitely agree with what Sean was saying as far as, like, it's 2 people, it's not one. There's no such thing. Everybody got one holiday, and we're gonna stick to our gendered holidays, yes, which is if you're a father versus if you're a mother.
Appreciate all those who stayed in tune. I guess my closing statement is probably piggyback off all 3 of y'all. Something Shannon said I was going to say, which is I think both mother and father need to stop talking negative to the children, or, you know, putting negative thoughts into the child's head about the other, regardless of how y'all feel. And also, like Deshaun said, it takes a village. It definitely takes a village. We gotta use all our resources. We all gotta come together. And I had two fathers. I had my biological father and my stepfather. You know what I'm saying? And they both had a hand in raising me. So yes, it takes a village. You know what I'm saying? I had coaches, uncles, big bros, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we just don't have to put it on just the parents. So, but with that said, you know, I like to leave the last words with our motto, and that's don't focus on the outcome. Be in love with the process. Have fun along the journey, and whether good or bad, pray God give you peace through it all. This is Poetry Power People. Thank you for tuning in. Take care. Love you.